Good evening, guys, and I hope you're really well indeed. I hope you're loving my Deirdre Barlow glasses. So, as you know, those of you that are with me, I set myself a 28-day challenge 28 days ago. And what I usually find and how people cannot sustain their weight loss or their achievements that they've made so far is that they stop making goals. So I like short-term goals. The brain doesn't like to think too far ahead, you know. So I had my goals last week or last month of fasting every day between 14 and 20 hours. I'm doing my exercise and drinking my water and everything. But this month, as well as eating well, and I won't be fasting every day. I'll probably do 16 hours a few times a week. But this month I am concentrating on sleep, hence the glasses. I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that I can get a good night's sleep. And I do spend a lot of time on the screen, you know, whether it be iPad, phone, TV, whatever it is. And these are supposed to block the blue light. So you might get a little touch of reflection from it, but you'll have to deal with it. Because what I'm doing is I'm doing everything I possibly can to get a really good night's sleep. And apparently the less blue light you have during the day, and I have to say I've only been doing it today, but I feel a difference already. And often I get very dry and tired eyes from being online. And this has made a difference to me already, so I really feel the difference. So I'm going to do this for the next 28 days, as well as drinking my water, getting my sleep, eating a rainbow. You know, I'm going to be doing those things, but sleep is the next thing. So when you have a little bit of success, people go, oh, that's great, I've got success now. And then they put the weight back on, or they go back to their old habits. We should always be making, in every other area of our life, we make little goals. We don't say, oh, I went to the theatre, I've done that now. I'll never go again, right? You don't say, I've learnt to walk now, that's it, I've done it now. I don't have to do it again. Every step of the way, whether it be work, relationships, whatever, we have little goals that we get to, and we keep making them. And for some reason in the health industry, we stopped doing that somewhere along the line. So with the Olympics on at the moment, these people will have got to the Olympics by making those little goals every month, step by step, until it leads to the Olympics. And I want you to treat it just like that. So what are your goals going to be for the next month? Now, we've had a lot of chopping and changing this week, and the reason for that is I want energy. So I know there's only 3 people watching at the moment, but the 3 people are watching, can you just like and love the button? Just give it, because I want to generate some energy. And even those that are watching the recording, when you get to this bit when I say go on, like, I want you to like it and love it, and even if it's in the group forever, I want you to be really pushing that energy up, because for this particular technique I need I want you to feel the energy. And so when we've only got, like, if we're in a very intimate Zoom, it can be very difficult to create that energy. Whereas on Facebook, I know people will rewatch this, they'll join in, they'll comment below, they'll do all that business. So guys, like, love, generate the energy throughout, because that is what I'm looking for. So tonight is who is in charge of your eating monster, right? So who is in charge of your eating? So I want to bring to mind the lovely Terence Watts, who was the creator of BWRT, wrote an amazing book about parts therapy, and he kept it very simple, and I really like the simplicity of it. So there's the warrior. The warrior likes a plan, likes counting things, likes structure, and is, you know, quite disciplined, yeah? But when things go wrong, they don't like deviating away from the plan. It'll make them frustrated, it'll make them angry if things get in the way. They're very good at leading and delegating. Not so much of the worker. They are the planner, they are the, you know, and everything like that. But they can easily get frustrated if life gets in the way. So is the warrior in charge of your food? Then we've got the settler. The settler is the workhorse. The settler is more likely to exercise themselves into the ground and out-exercise a diet. They're the worker, they're the workhorse, but they don't really want to eat differently to those around them because they want harmonious relationships. They want to belong to a tribe. These are the people that will join Slimming World, Weight Watchers, even here in the Food Freedom Forum. They want to be part of something. They want to belong somewhere. And so they don't really want to do something different to what everyone else is doing. And they're a little bit more flexible. They go with the flow a little bit more. And they will work extremely hard. But the downside is they can be easily misled. So if someone goes, do you want a slice of cake? And they go, no, thank you, I'm fine. And then you say to the settler, oh, go on, I made it for you. Oh, well, all right then, okay. Because they don't want to upset the other person, yeah? Then you've got your nomad. A nomad can be a leader as well. But if it's boring and there's no reward, the nomad will go, I'm not doing that. So your nomad is your fun, your creativity. It's also your sod it button, yeah? So if the nomad isn't entertained by what you're doing, the nomad won't go for a marathon run unless it loves the marathon run. It's more likely to do Zumba and have a bit of a giggle and wants to go to the gym but with a friend where they can have a laugh together. They want their food to be interesting. They want a reward. If they stick to the plan and there's no reward at the end, what's the point? Then they'll hit the sod it button because life is too short for the nomad to be living in restriction. They want to have fun. They want to enjoy life. So the downside is your nomad is your sod it button. It will push that button anytime you like. And trying to pin a nomad down is like trying to pin a butterfly down. You'll say, will you do this for me? I've got a few of your nomads. I've got a few nomads in there, in the group. I'll say, will you do this for me? And they'll go, yeah. And in their heads, they're going, I'm not going to do that. They'll agree, yeah, of course I will, Anna, of course I will. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So if there's no fun, no enjoyment, no reward, then the nomad isn't interested, right? Now, we are an amalgamation of the different parts of the warrior, the settler, and the nomad. So, for example, I am a nomad settler, so I want the fun, I need the entertainment, I need the reward. I need that, otherwise I'm going to go sod it, forget it. But I am the worker. I will work myself into the ground, and I do want to belong to something, and I do want harmonious relationships. So I'm the nomad settler with a little bit of warrior. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about too much structure. I'm not too, but I do like counting things. I do. That's what made me so good as a nutritionist, because I can just look at something and say that's how many calories that is. I've been doing it so long now, and because I know about every single diet, I'll tell you points, sins, whatever. I love counting things, you know. So that's the little bit of warrior in me. So we are an amalgamation of all those three parts, right? But who is in charge of your eating right now? So just with what I have told you there, who is in charge of your eating right now? Yeah, so I think the settler was in charge of my eating for a long time. I used to work hard and pummel myself with exercise, and I think the settler was in charge for a long time. Then the nomad came in, wanted flexibility, wanted fun, didn't want to follow too many rules and everything. And at the moment, my warrior is well and truly in charge, because I'm setting goals, I've got these little rules, I'm counting things and I'm quite enjoying it. I'm not counting calories, we don't like doing that. I'm not counting calories, I'm just counting steps, I like counting things. So the warrior's in charge, but we want to know who is in charge of your eating presently. Now, there's no right or wrong, right? But what I want you to know is if your warrior isn't in charge of your eating right now, then you're going to have some structure, yeah? And we want to stick to the plan, and we want some rules and some regulations, and your warrior will be very happy with that. but you've also got to be aware that if you deviate from the plan or life gets in the way, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get angry, yeah? The settler, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet, but the settler is the worker, so the settler will do the prep, will do the food. The settler doesn't really want to live differently to the people around them. They want to eat the same as the people around them. So there's going to have to be tweaks and changes and stuff like that in order for the settler to feel happy. And then the nomad, if it's boring and there's no entertainment in it, which is why a lot of diets don't work for nomads, and there's no reward. So if you go on a diet and you lose a few pounds and the nomad is in charge of your eating, you go, oh, that's it, I've lost a few pounds. And the nomad will go, and what? What do I get now? Surely there should be something. Isn't there a parade for me? You know, like, so the idea is the nomad will hit that sod it button if it's not fun and entertaining and no reward. So it's not a bad thing that any of those parts are in control of your eating. You've just got to understand how they work. Yeah? So I want you to think about that right now. And perhaps you might say, because I'm a typical nomad, really, nomad settler, I thought there should be a change. I wanted my warrior part to be in charge a little bit more at this present time because I'm really going for results. So I wanted the warrior to take over. So I wanted the change from the nomad to the warrior to take over. Yeah, so then I could be a little bit more structured and a little bit more decisive in what I'm doing. So I've actually made a change psychologically. So I want you to think about that. And again, if you're watching, please like the buttons, love the buttons, like it, because I'm generating energy here with this. And even those doing the recordings, I want you to do that, like, love, like, love, like, love. I want you to do it so that we generate some energy even in the recording. Yeah, even in the recording. So I want you to think about who's in charge. And are you happy with who's in charge of your eating? Are you happy with that? So it's going to be a quick session tonight because I don't want to draw it out. I want it to be quick and energetic. And so you won't be here forever. Don't worry, I won't have you here until midnight. So are you happy with who's in charge of your eating presently? Yeah? And if things aren't going right, are you getting angry and frustrated like the warrior would? Are you feeling like a bit of a pushover because you give in all the time like the settler? Or you just finding it just boring and not entertaining and there's no reward in this business at all, and so you're just hitting that sod it button, let's reach for the cake, let's reach for the wine. Do you need to understand the part that's in charge of your eating, or do you need to change and give the role to someone else? Whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recording, I want you to make that decision now. So this is super, 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 super simple. I want you to give a colour to your warrior. It can be any colour you like. Any colour you like, but your colour, that's to symbolise the warrior. And then I want you to give a colour to the settler. Your colour, any colour you like, to the settler. And then I want you to give a colour to the nomad, any colour you like, to the nomad. All you're doing is identifying them through the colour, yeah? Now, where does your eating, your decisions for food, where do they live in the body? Is it at the head, the heart, the stomach, the arms? Where do you feel it? When you go, I've got the munchies, oh, I've got to eat. Where do you feel it in the body? Where do you feel it? Yeah? It might be the stomach, it might be the head, you might get an ache for the food, you know. Where do you feel it? And I want you to identify that, right? Now, when you've identified a place, yeah, you've identified the place, and when you've identified the colour of who is in charge of your eating, if you want that person, that part of you to stay and you're just going to work with that part, so say you decide, the nomad is actually in charge of my eating, but I don't mind that. So for the next while, I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to make sure my food is entertaining and glorious and fun and creative, and I'm going to give it all. I'm going to give it all, and I'm going to give a reward to myself every time I achieve something. I'm going to absolutely give a reward to myself. And you might decide that you're going to work with the nomad, or say you have a settler and you think, oh God, I'm just giving in all the time, and I try so hard and I work so hard, and then I just give in when someone comes along. Maybe you think, well, maybe I would prefer my warrior to be in charge. Maybe I would prefer them to be in charge. This is how it's going to work. Whichever area of the body your food decisions or aches or wants or needs are, you're going to see the colour of the part of you that's in charge at the moment going around and around. Like, think of like a universe, like a sparkly universe going around and around and around, yeah? If you want to keep the same part of you but work with it, then you're going to keep the colour, you're going to keep those sparkles, yeah? If you want to change the part of you that is in charge of your food, the colour will change to the part you want. Yeah, so you'll start off with, say, the nomad, and whatever colour that is, say it's green, and it changes to blue for the warrior as we move along through this exercise. And I want you to create like energy. I want you to feel it in your body. I want you to really sense it. We want to really create this kind of energy, yeah? So, I don't want you to close your eyes. I don't want you to close your eyes at all, but I still want you to visualise, yeah? So whether it's in the head or whatever, you can stare at something on the wall, but I want you to see the part of that's in charge of the food at the moment. I want you to see that universe of that colour, like a sparkly stars and everything, just going around and around and around and around. And if you're keeping it, I want you to make it bigger and brighter and bolder. And I want you to make it bigger and brighter and bolder. And I want you to make it bigger and brighter and bolder. And I want you to see that same colour. Those of you that are keeping it, I want you to see the same colour. Just absolutely, you're going to work with this part of you. You're going to commit to this part of you. You're going to give this part of you what it needs. And I want you to see it going around and around and around, getting bigger and brighter and bolder, and bigger and brighter and bolder, and bigger and brighter. And soon it's just exploding into every area of your body, from head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip. Every fibre, every cell is becoming that colour. That part is dominating. From head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip, every part, every cell, every pore is filling with that colour. When it comes to food, this part is dominating. It is taking over. From head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip, every part, every fibre is dominating with this colour. And I want those that are keeping the parts the same, I want you to just see it swirling around, all that colour, all those stars, sparkles, everything. I want you to see it. I want you to keep that energy going. Now, those of you that want to change the part that's going to be taking over from the food, I want you to see the original part just changing, seeing it going around and around and around in the part of the body where you feel the need for food and everything. And then as it goes, I want you to change the colour now. And I want you to make that colour, that part, bigger and brighter and bolder, and bigger and brighter and bolder. I want you to see it changing and swirling and moving faster and faster and faster and faster, changing and moving and swirling faster and faster and faster and faster. And soon it's exploding into every area of your body, from head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip, everybody. That colour is now dominating and it's taking control of your food. You've got to work with this part from head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip. Every fibre, every cell, every pore is just going to be filled with this colour. It's dominating this part of the brain. It's dominating this food, this colour. From head to toe, from fingertip to fingertip, every fibre, every cell, every pore is filling with this colour. This is the colour. This is the part of you that's going to take control. This is the part of you that's going to solve any eating issues. I want you to breathe 2 deep breaths. Stay energized, don't relax. Lift it up. And I want you to think of the attributes of that part, whether it's the warrior, structure, planning, feeling good, taking control. You need rules, you need regulations. It feels happy with that. A settler, the worker, the prepper, but doesn't really want to eat differently to other people, but wants to stay solid, wants wants to stay solid in themselves so they can get the results from all their hard work. Or the nomad, it's got to be fun, it's going to be entertaining, it can't be boring, there can't be no reward, or else it just won't do it. So it's going to be fun and entertaining and joyful and lovely and gorgeous, and it's going to be rewarding as well. So whichever part is in control, you're going to think of the attributes, and you're just going to think of all the attributes that are going to help you, how this will change, how you will move forward today from this week. You're going to move forward and work with this part as that part likes to work. And I want you to see the kind of colours simmering in your body, sparkling, fizzing in your body. That colour fizzing, sparkling, churning, moving. Every cell just moving, vibrating with that colour. Because you're going to work with this part and this part alone. Breathe in and breathe out. So I want you can redo this little exercise. It's very, very simple. People come to me all the time with, I've got borderline personality disorder, or I've got multiple personality disorder. I say to everyone, we all have multiple personalities. We all have borderline personalities. The disorder comes when we use the wrong part of us to fix the problem. That is when the disorder comes. So you might be using your settler when you need to use your warrior. You might be using your warrior when you need to use your nomad. Yeah? What does your diet need? So I identified that I'm pretty flexible. I like things to be fun. I don't like missing out, and I always need a reward. Yeah? But for the moment, I've put my warrior in charge, and I'm just being a little bit more structured. I'm doing my counting. I'm just being a little bit more disciplined. But when you put your warrior in charge, it's easy. If you say to your nomad, right, that's it, come on, buck up, we're going to have to get organised, the nomad will go, oh, can't be bothered with that. It's the wrong part to be asking to do those things. That's when people go, why can't I stick to anything? You're using the wrong part of you to try and solve the problem. Yeah? So I would say if you're the type of person that can't stick to things, maybe your nomad is in charge. Or maybe your settler is getting swayed by someone going, oh, go on, we'll have a wine. Right? So you can see for those people that get frustrated if life gets in the way and someone doesn't cook the right food or something happens and they can't stick to their plan, then the warrior's too rigid. And maybe we need a bit of the other part to come in. So I want you to really do this week. Work with how each part works. Whichever part you've chosen, work with how that part works. Yeah, so I've explained it here in simple terms. It gets much more complicated than that, I won't lie, but I've simplified it. And then if that isn't working for you, maybe you need to change the part that's dealing with the food. And the way to do that is with this exercise, because the parts are symbolic and the subconscious loves symbols, and the other thing it loves is colour. So it really understands the game. So if you're changing the part that's in charge of your food, doing this exercise, you go, well, what's that about? That won't do anything. The brain understands the game. And I'm only speaking the language of the subconscious. That's it. Sometimes it's like speaking French to someone who speaks Spanish when you're using the wrong part. When you're using the correct part, it's easy. It's easy. Yeah? So I hope you enjoyed that. I just wanted to generate some energy and I wanted to leave it here on Facebook. And as I said, guys, please, like. I won't back again. Like. Love. Really, give it some energy, yeah? Even if you watch this in 3 weeks' time, give it some energy. Yeah? And put that energy in, like the video, love the video, and let's generate it even if people are watching the recording. So this was the method in my madness this week. So my tasks this week is to stay focused on getting amazing sleep, and I'm going for it. I'm 6 pounds down now. So what's happened to me this year, I'll explain just before I go, is I've had quite a few flare-ups with my Hirschsprungs. So what's happened is I can throw on 10 pounds really quickly, yeah, bang, straight on, and then I lose 5 pounds, and then I have another flare-up, and then I lose 5 pounds. So I was never getting down to the original weight, because by the time I'd lost 5 pounds, I was having another flare-up. So I've had a crazy year with my guts at the moment. So this time I'm going for it. I've got to get it off, otherwise I can be 60 pounds up by the end of the year. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So this is why the day we stop going for it is the day we've got problems. If we're in the game, we're always going to be in better shape than if we're not in the game. The day you throw the towel in, that's when the problems really start. So I hope you're very well. I hope you like my Deirdre Barlow glasses that are going to hopefully get rid of the blue light and really help me. And I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. See you later.